What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on the E30 M3 replica build with the Honda S2000 motor in it. And today I want to go ahead and start finishing up this engine bay. I want to take all this stuff off right here, and that is bare metal and it is rusting, so we need to get that rust off. And I want to go ahead and prep this entire bay so we can go ahead and prime all of it. I went and got a bunch of materials to do everything, and we're going to have everything we need to get this engine bay completely in primer. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by stripping out this brake booster and the ABS unit, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got this off, and we're gonna have to go ahead and sand this down. And also, I found an issue. This stuff is chipping off. I have no idea why. I suspect it was that rust treatment, and I don't think you're supposed to paint over it, which really sucks. I'm gonna have to strip all this down, and I think I'm just gonna go with the etching primer and then the 2K primer, and no rust treatment at all. So I need to wire wheel all this, and as you can see, it just cracked up everywhere. I bet this right here will chip off. Let's see. Let me get something to hit it with. It's pretty solid, but it is cracking up, and right here where it cracked up, it came right off. So I'm gonna have to wire wheel all this, which sucks, but it's okay. It happens. I think I'll do that last. For now, I want to go ahead and fix all these right here. So we got a chip here, one there, and where else? Oh, right here, there's a couple, and then a couple on the side. Really not a big deal. And here I decided I'm just gonna seam seal this up right here and not even weld it in. You're not gonna see it. There's gonna be a radiator right here, and there is an intercooler right there, which actually slips in here. So now that I think about it, a plate wouldn't even work, because then the intercooler wouldn't fit, because it barely even clears this. So we're going to seam seal this up and just prime over that. I'm not worried about that. So for now, I want to go ahead and start sanding out this engine bay and trying to find all the imperfections. So let's get started. I started sanding this, and I've noticed that this primer I laid down is actually a really good guide coat, and it's helping me find all the imperfections. As you can see, all these scratches and stuff, and also this. So I'm sanding it all smooth, and we're gonna fix everything, such as these little pits. I don't know, I guess we just missed that the first time. But like I said, I'm gonna get all this perfect. I actually forgot to buy a spreader. Messed up, so I need to go to the store real quick. I'm gonna go get me a spreader, and then we're gonna sand out all these spots and throw down some body filler, and then that's gonna be pretty much it in the front. I do need to wire wheel all this. I wasn't really happy with this anyways. As you can see, I kind of rushed it, so I want to grind this completely smooth and this, and sand it out real nicely. That way when I prime it all, it's gonna look super good, because this pretty much is what you're going to see from the engine bay. Most of this you won't really see with the hood here, so I do want that at least to look good. So I'm gonna go get that spreader, and then we're gonna lay down Bondo everywhere where it needs it, and once that's laid down, we can go ahead and focus on this and that, and just sand the rest of this engine bay and get it painted. Oh, I also do need some red Scotch-Brite, so we're gonna go to O'Reilly's and get that stuff, and we'll come back and knock this out. Okay guys, so I'm back from the store, and I bought a spreader, some Scotch pads, and some paper towels to clean it off. I also bought this yesterday. It's platinum filler. It's the same stuff we used to shave the engine bay. I wanted some nice high quality stuff and the same type of Bondo. So right now I'm going to sand all these imperfections out with the 80, and we're gonna throw more Bondo onto them, and then we're gonna prep everything for primer. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I got some Bondo laid down on all the imperfections. While it dries up, I'm actually gonna strip this down again, unfortunately, but it's okay, it happens. And I wanted to make it a little bit nicer anyways. So we're gonna strip it down with the wire wheel completely, back to how we had it, and then I'm gonna start grinding this up. And that way this will be ready for primer also. But we will etch it, of course. I do have etching primer for any bare metal before we lay down 2K primer, but we definitely need to get all this off because I did mess up. I think it was that rust treatment, because that stuff turns black and I don't think you're supposed to paint over it. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, let me know down below. Hopefully that's just the issue and I can clean all this off and etch it and hit it with a 2K with no rust treatment. That way it doesn't happen again. So let's go ahead and clean it off. Okay guys, so I went ahead and grinded all this off. Man, that was so much work, but it was definitely worth it. I still need to get a couple spots, but as you can see guys, there is rust underneath there, and I guess with this rust treatment right here, it turns rust into black stuff. I don't know what it does, but definitely can't paint over it. So I'm making sure I get everything off completely, that way I don't have no issues. I threw down Bondo here and over there, everywhere. As you guys know, I went ahead and sanded it with some 80, and I think one more coat over everything and it will be perfect. And then I'm gonna 180 everything. I've been just kind of blocking it all out right here, as you can see, trying to get this as smooth as possible, because then we can 180 it and 180 all of this right here, take that off right here, and we'll go ahead and start prepping it, sanding this whole back area with 180, and that way everything has a nice coat of primer. I went ahead and grinded this down completely, and I'm going to have to sand that with the 80 because I did put the rust treatment on there. But what I'm going to do this time is use this lacquer thinner and clean it off very thoroughly, and then sand it with the 80, and it should get it all completely off. So we're gonna go ahead and probably put another coat of Bondo on everything, and while that's drying, I'll go ahead and focus on this rear area, and then it's just a matter of getting everything sanded with the 180. Grind these areas down right here, and I'll hit it with a flap disc, and it'll be nice and smooth, and we can go ahead and tape this off and prime it. I do want to prime it today, that way I can paint it tomorrow, and I actually have the paint right here. So as you guys can see from the title of the video, this is Laguna Seca Blue. Here it is. Oh, I love that color. It's so good. And it's like two different colors. It's like more, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like light blue in the sun and then like dark. Let me just get it out in the sun for you guys. Okay, it looks completely different on camera than it does in person. It's like more of a greenish tint in person. And I absolutely love this color. It is also a very iconic BMW color. And correct me if I'm wrong, I have not seen an E30 M3 with this color, so this might be the first. I know Driftworks, Phil Morris has one, but his looks kind of lighter, so I'm not sure if that's Laguna Seca, but I don't know. I think this is a perfect color choice for this car, and I'm really excited to get this engine bay painted. That way I can kind of get an idea and also be motivated to do the whole car. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on putting some Bondo down. Alright, so I got the final coat of Bondo applied. I don't think we're gonna need any more. I think this is perfect. It already looked good before, but I just went above and beyond and threw an extra coat on it. But man, guys, I gotta say, it does pay off to get the good stuff. You know, this stuff is $85 a gallon, which is actually pretty expensive for Bondo, but it spreads on there super nicely and it sands off super easy. And this entire bay was done with this 3M Platinum filler right here, and it held up. I mean, this bay was probably done a year ago. The only reason it broke was because, you know, it got the whole weight of a motor dropped on it and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's held up and it's been solid. And I really recommend to do higher quality Bondo because it'll last, and B, it's just so much easier to work with. You use way less material, because I could have got away with it, but I just want to do one more, so I'm going to sand this off, and at the end of the day it's all ready, and I barely use any material. Versus the cheaper Bondo, you're going to have more pinholes, and you're going to have, it's going to be harder to sand and everything like that, and it won't last as long. So we're going to wait for this to dry, and all we have to do is sand it down, and then we can go ahead and 180 this entire engine bay and get it ready for primer. Okay guys, so I got it all sanded down. I sanded everything with the 180, and then I went over it with a Scotch pad just in case I missed anything, and it's all looking very good. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean it up very nicely, and then we're going to edge prime all this bare metal, and then we can go ahead and hit it all with 2K primer. And I'm really excited because, I mean, once it's primed, we'll wait 24 hours and we can go ahead and paint this engine bay. Just like that, guys, we are done priming, and man, it's just so hard working here with this heat. I got that little fan over there, and that's about it. But I'm gonna clean this area up because it's getting pretty messy. I don't want Pops to come in here and get mad, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We're gonna give this 24 hours to dry, and we'll go ahead and wet sand it with the 400 grit, and then I'll scuff everything over, make sure I don't miss anything, and we'll go ahead and throw down that Laguna Seca blue and see how this engine bay looks. I'm really happy with everything. It looks super smooth, and I guess we'll see tomorrow. Hopefully nothing cracks up here. It should be good because I really wire wheeled this really good multiple times, and originally when I primed it, it started to crack up immediately, and it's not doing that now. So I think we're good with that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and start sanding this and get it ready for paint. Okay guys, so I got it all cleaned up and sanded, and now I'm just going to clean it with a rag and some cleaner, and then I'm going to tack it and throw it on the first coat of base. I'm really excited to see this color on here and see what it looks like. I want to clean this area up a little bit and air blow it just so we don't get as much dirt in it. But it is the engine bay and I don't care. I mean, I know it's not perfect and I'm not really worried about it because at the end of the day, I'm already going above and beyond for this engine bay. So we're going to see how it turns out. If anything, I won't clear it, but hopefully everything turns out great. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing ready and throw some base down. Alright guys, so I got the base coat laid down. Now I'm going to wait for it to fully dry and we're going to tack it and throw it on some clear and see how it looks. I'm really happy with how it looks so far. Everything looks nice and smooth. I know the clear coat is just really going to make this engine bay pop. I mean, it's not perfect, honestly. I do see some imperfections that I missed, but I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, it is just the engine bay. And like I said, we already did more than enough for this engine bay. So we're gonna wait for this to dry and we're gonna clear it. This color is really weird. I'm seeing on the GoPro that it looks a lot different than it does in person. It looks a lot more like blue on camera, but I really like it and I'm really happy I went with it. Seeing it right now in the light, it looks super good. I can't wait to see it out in the sun and I can't wait to see the rest of the car in this color. So I'm gonna wait and I'll get right back to it when it dries. Okay, so the engine bay is finally done, guys. I got the clear coat laid down, 2 coats, and it just looks absolutely amazing. Everything laid down super smooth. Are a couple little pieces of trash, but I mean, I'm painting in a garage, so for a garage paint job, this just looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm extremely happy with these results. I'm not touching nothing. What we're gonna do now is wait for it to dry. Once it dries up, I'll just tape it off right here and put plastic over this and move on. And we're gonna start with these doors next. Get all this body work done right here. I need to strip all this off. As you can see, there's rust and I don't want no rust underneath the Bondo. So we're gonna have to strip that off. The next thing we'll do is finish the doors, trim them out, and then boom, we're ready to go onto the quarters, finish up the quarters, touch them up, and then we can go ahead and paint this whole car. I'm so excited, guys. Now that I see color on this car, it's just motivating me to get it done. And I'm already loving this color. It's just absolutely beautiful. And Laguna Seca Blue is like a very iconic BMW color, and I really haven't seen an E30 M3 with this color. Maybe Phil Morris from Driftworks, but his looks a little different. But then again, like I said, this color is really weird on camera. It always looks different, but I'm super happy with the results, guys. It's getting extremely late on me, and I still need to edit this video to drop it. So that's gonna be it for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me transform this engine bay and restore it to its former glory. It's looking absolutely amazing. Everything looks super nice here. This tube front end that Yuri built for me just looks beautiful painted, and the shaved engine bay. I mean, there's so many man hours in this, because as you guys know, if you haven't watched that video, be sure to check it out. Link it down below. We put plates in here, there, and dollied everything out, welded up all the holes, welded up all the seams. I mean, there was just so much work, all the Bondo, everything, and it all came out to this. And man, I cannot wait to see this beautiful engine. As you can see, I got polished everything. I just can't wait to see that beautiful engine sitting right here. It's gonna look so amazing. I am also going to paint this engine cap Laguna Seca Blue and have this polished like it is right now, but blue, obviously. That's gonna look absolutely insane. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you wanna stick around and see this car get done, be sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.